Hey, what is up everyone? It's FBA Jeffrey. In this video, I just wanted to really just discuss why Amazon FBA, why this business model of all the other business models out there online. I put together a really quick, more so like PowerPoint type of thing. I just want to make this super casual, get to the point, and just really talk and share more about my thoughts and my opinion on this model. But starting off, I have helped several people. I don't want to say several, but I've helped quite a lot of people, a lot of students successfully start and scale their Amazon FBA business. My best student, his name is Carlo. We got him to $45,000 a month in profit. It's not just about Carlo, right? We have gotten exceptional results within the program. Check out my Instagram page. I post a lot of my daily revenue, my daily profits. Check out all of my highlights. I even started building out a custom Instagram page for Seller Sync Academy, which is my direct one-on-one Amazon FBA mentorship. There's a lot of videos, and there will be more and more videos on students and their experience, as well as their success stories being posted as they go through my program, right? But here are just some of my results. Trust me, there's a lot more. I just don't want to bore you with so many. Really quickly, why do you want to listen to me, right? I've actually crossed $10 million in lifetime sales like 2 weeks ago. I know in a couple videos back, I said 8 million, but now I've crossed 10 million. Like I said, there's full proof, there's full everything. In a bit, I'm happy to show my Amazon store and everything, but I've been selling on Amazon since November 2022. So it's been 2.5 years, which is crazy to think about. And I've also done other business models in the past. Like I've done drop shipping, I've resold sneakers. I've done a lot, right? Well, I don't want to say I've done a lot, but I've tried different business models. I was always fascinated with the idea of making money online, which is why when you search make money online, the first thing you see is drop shipping. And I tried that. But yeah, my initial goal when I first started Amazon was to make an extra 5 to 10K a month in profit. I was working a pretty steady and like consistent, like well-paying corporate job. I was working at a bank. If you're Canadian, I worked at RBC in the finance role. So I was getting paid okay. Like I wasn't paycheck to paycheck, but I always just thought making 5 to 10K, I can now get a nicer car. I can eat out nicer. I can treat my girlfriend nicer. I could build a better future, a more stable financial future. And I was able to hit 10K profit in 3 months, which sounds absolutely crazy, but trust me, it's possible. And I've also seen it with many students. And since then, I've just kept scaling. I kept pushing the limits. I never settled. And here we are, March 2025. $10 million in lifetime sales, which is absolutely crazy. I still sell in this model. I plan on scaling to 20 mil. But just here is my store for today. We do a little refresh. Over the last 7 days, we've done $89,000 in sales. I don't know if it's going to focus, but yeah, just a little more proof. But let's dive right into it, right? What about the other models, right? Like I said, every model, there's a lot of online models. You start trying to make money online, you will find a lot. And I will also tell you, even though I am biased, dropshipping, affiliate marketing, all of these models work. There's people making money, but the real question is how easy it is. Pros, what are the cons of every model? So let's get into it. So the first, let me just move my screen. So the first will be dropshipping, right? And I feel like I am very qualified to talk about this because I have done this model. I've tried it. I didn't turn rich from it, clearly, because now I'm doing Amazon, but I didn't lose money, right? But it wasn't the model that everyone claimed it to be, in the sense where the reason why I got into it was I thought it was very easy to do, where you're just buying products from China, you're running like a simple ad towards it or posting it on TikTok, and people buy it from your website. And in hindsight, it is very simple, but at the time, I didn't have any previous business experience outside of like selling sneakers. I didn't know what I was doing. I was very immature, like business wise. So I didn't understand the idea of running ads. Trust me, that is a whole headache to do. A whole headache, especially when you run ads on like TikTok and Facebook. And it's always, you're just stuck in the endless loop of always posting content, because if you were posting organically, you have to try to go viral, make your product very appealing. But then the other problem is it's super hard to stand out. When you're trying to sell a water bottle, you're basically buying from China. Anyone can do that. You're just going on Canva and creating your own logo and slapping on your logo, right? So it's very, very hard to stand out. And it also requires a very, very deep understanding of marketing, as well as creating websites, and marketing being making videos that are very appealing, that makes people want to buy your product from China, your $20 product from China, which is actually very difficult looking back at it, right? So the main thing is you have to learn how to market. You have to learn how to create a website, copyright. That's another aspect of it. the whole thing. I don't recommend dropshipping. I don't think it's the best model. Frankly speaking, I just genuinely don't think it's a viable business model to start, especially as a beginner in 2025. Maybe in 2017, 2018, I was, but not anymore, right? Customers are smart. Customer knows when your product is from China, when you're buying it for $3, trying to sell it for $20. That's not how it works anymore. Another business model that I want to talk about would be TikTok Shop / affiliate marketing. It's pretty similar. Essentially what TikTok Shop is, you kind of become an affiliate of a specific brand. Let's say for Vaseline, you become like a content creator and you make content like talking about, hey guys, I'm FBA Jeffrey. I just use this Vaseline to help get rid of like my rash. I recommend it. Something like that. I don't know too much about it. But what I do know is that there's a major problem with it because a lot of it is being driven by UGC content. So like it's a form of like content, and a lot of it like is very popular on TikTok. But with TikTok, I'm sure all of you have heard, there's been the recent controversy with it getting banned. I'd rather not build a business where every 2 months or even a month, the platform is about to get deleted, right? I'd rather not do that. It sounds very inconsistent. The other issue with TikTok Shop and even affiliate marketing is you have to go viral and build a personal brand. You have to create a following, meaning you also have to create a lot of content and show your face and show how you live. And frankly speaking, personally for me, that's not how I want to do my stuff. I don't want to personally show my lifestyle or not the full context of it. And I also don't want to post 1-minute videos trying to advertise a Vaseline, right? That's just not something I want to be. And also the other issue is there is trust problems. Sorry, there's a typo. Trust problems as customers usually associate you to, cheap products as well, similar to dropshipping. So I don't recommend going into TikTok Shop or affiliate marketing at all, mainly because you have to show your face and there's the risk of getting the platform that makes you all the money banned, right? And then the other aspect, another business model would be private label, right? So within Amazon, there's multiple models such as arbitrage, wholesale, and private label. I've done arbitrage and wholesale, and I personally think it's the best model out there because you're selling name brand products. Whereas with private label, very similar to dropshipping, except you're quote unquote creating a brand. The only aspect of it is you're actually buying a lot of inventory up front. So with private label, it does require high capital. I know this because I inquired about it. The person I talked to, had a really good convo with him. He told me I need like 20, 30 grand to start, but I'm just going to be conservative and say 10 to 15, which is a lot of money. I know like I personally, if I had no experience in any business model, I would not be comfortable putting 10K or 15K upfront. Similar to dropshipping, it's hard to stand out very generic content. You have to run advertisements, except you're running it on Amazon. And like the worst aspect, the main thing is it will take 2 months for you to really see results because you have to get the inventory in hand. That's why you're spending 10 to 15K. You got to send it to Amazon. You got to run advertisements. The whole 9 yards, super complicated. Although I know you can make a lot of money from it. I feel like this is a model where you need more capital and maybe some experience. So like for me, like a lot of my students and even I myself, I was actually telling this to my friend the other day, Carlo, actually, the student who made 45,000. I think private label is very good if you already have a lot of cash. But how are you going to get to that cash? By running a cash flow business, right? Something like what we do, where every $10 you spend, you make $5 in profit. So every $10 you spend, you end up with $15 and it compounds. That's just how it is. And that's just what you need to do. Private label is very similar to real estate where you can't see short-term success. You can't look at numbers on a day-to-day basis. You have to see it from months out, and you just have to keep going, right? And then in 6 months, 12 months, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, now you would really reap the benefits. So private label, I wouldn't say it's very beginner friendly. But now let's talk about our model, Amazon FBA Wholesale. I have highlighted some pros. And the first is, number one, you are making profit from your very first month. But let me set real expectations. You will not be making $10,000. You will not be making $100,000 in profit first month. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme. This is something that is a real business. You have to learn the foundations and work your way out, right? Work your way up, sorry. You don't have to show your face, and you don't need any single marketing, right? The reason why you make profit is because you're selling name brand products like this. Vaseline, this item sells 500 times, even 1,000 times a month. It's already proven. Everyone knows the brand Vaseline. You're basically leveraging the name brand and just jumping on it to make profits. You're leveraging Amazon's marketplace. Amazon's marketplace is absolutely crazy. I'm able to do this full time. I've been doing it full time for over 2 years now. Never had the thought of going back to my corporate 9 to 5, which is really, really good. And I also think it's the most scalable and sustainable business, right? In the sense where you want to make 5K or 10K, something on the side, on top of your 9 to 5, you can definitely do that. But if you want to take it on a more serious note and go full time with this, you could definitely do this, right? In December, I did $618,000 in sales at around 20% margin, so around 120K profit. Actually, 130K. That was what I was doing in December, US dollars. So I could tell you, very scalable, very sustainable, and even with like my sales every month, I'm like on a day-to-day basis, I have a very good idea of where I'll land sales wise. Like I'll know I'll be between I want to say 12K to 15K every single day in sales, which is sustainable, right? Very, very good. And the other aspect is that this model is just very recession proof, or at least the model that I teach and the model I do, because we're selling name brand products. I focus a lot on groceries as well as household products like personal care, such as toothpaste, lotion, mouthwash, shampoo, body wash, detergent. These products are things that customers buy over and over again, regardless of the economy, regardless if there's a recession or not, right? So it's not like a gimmicky product. These are stuff that actually has value to customers. And once the customers use the product, they run out, they'll probably order more of it. So, which is why it's recession proof. And I also have friends, like I personally been doing this model for 2.5 years. I have friends who've been doing it for 5 years or even 10 years, and they're crushing it. They're absolutely crushing it. So definitely long-term, definitely recession proof. But let me also talk about some cons on this model as well, because this model genuinely have cons as well. And I just want to shed light into it. And the first is you're at the mercy of Amazon's TOS, terms of service, in the sense where there's platform risk, but that goes with every single business model where because you're very reliant on Amazon, a lot of things can happen. Amazon can change their policies overnight. Amazon can do many things, right? The customer service isn't the greatest. I'll just be honest. A lot of them are overseas, that's why, so they're very inconsistent, but it is what it is. I was able to scale my business even with the very crappy Amazon policies, but you just get used to it, right? It's just part of doing business. There's nothing perfect. The other aspect is it does require capital to start. You don't need 10 or 15K, but I would say you need at minimum $3,000 to $5,000, because the only downside of this model really is you need capital to buy inventory to sell. You're not creating money out of thin air, but you don't need 10 or 15K to start, in the sense where it's good to have. It'll make scaling a lot easier. But the main thing is you start small, you buy 10 to 15 units, as we call it a test buy. That's a couple $100s. You ship it into Amazon, you figure out how profitable it is, how fast it really sells before you scale up. So having more money, it's good, but you don't have to dump it right away with no guarantee. Every dollar you spend on this business, on inventory, you know you will have a guaranteed return. Okay, that's the main thing. But it does require 3 to 5K to start at minimum. There's also, a high level of organization. And take it from me, right? I am someone who's extremely disorganized. I'm almost certain a lot of you listening to this or watching this video is more organized than I am. And if I was able to scale my Amazon business to over 10 mil in lifetime sales with lack of this organization, I'm sure you can do it as well. You just have to be on top and tracking all your purchases, your expenses, all the dollars going out of your bank account, coming in and going out. That's like the main thing. So I provide that system. I've learned it the hard way. I honestly could have been at 15 or 20 mil in lifetime sales if I was organized from the start, which is why every student who comes into a program, I make sure they have the templates, the systems, literally everything, so they don't make the same mistakes I have made. So they avoid everything that I went through, like growing pains. And the last thing is Amazon fees. People, like I'm sure if you search this and research on Google, a lot of people talk about it, but it is what it is. It's just the cost of selling on Amazon. You're not marketing, you're not showing your face, you're selling name brand products. Amazon needs to take their cut. Usually it's around 15%. It varies based on product, but they take their cut. But we source every product at 30% ROI, which literally accounts for all Amazon fees, all storage costs. So it's not terrible. I just want to put this out there because I don't want any of you to start selling on Amazon and all of a sudden you get hit with like a $50 bill or $100 bill and be like, whoa, what is this? Jeffrey didn't tell me. But so I'm just going to say here, there are fees. It's not a lot. It shouldn't be game changing, or it shouldn't make or break you. That's the best way to say it, but it's good to know of it. I also go super in depth, like a 20-30 minute video talking about the Amazon fees within my mentorship program, SellerSync Academy. But yeah, the main question that you might have right now is Amazon saturated, and why start now? Why not start in 6 months, right? And to answer your question is statistically, and I'm not even, no fluff, nothing, Amazon is growing year after year. They're literally gaining more rev, and they're getting more sales, right? And my logic, and I can't confirm this, is it really kick-started after the pandemic, after COVID, when everyone, like even my parents and like the older generation, they're beginning to really believe in online shopping. Before they were a little bit like on the fence because they rather go in person, but now everyone does online. And that's growing, right? It's just becoming more convenient because Amazon has a feature called subscribe and save, where like you buy it once, you never think about it, and then the items will keep coming over and over again back to your house. So super convenient. Amazon is growing. In 2024, they generate 1.6 billion every day That's crazy. That's like absurd. Like if you were to break that down by second, even minute, it's like a crazy amount of number. That's there's a lot of money in this model, and it's only growing. Of that 1.6 billion, 60% of it comes from third-party sellers like me, and soon to be you. So there's plenty of money out there. I'm generating $15,000 a day in sales, which is a very small piece of the pie, not even 1%. So there's plenty of money out there for everyone. And anyone who tells you that this model doesn't work, that this model is saturated, they don't know what to talk about, right? People always post negative things online, but they never post positive things. I always say this: you go to a restaurant, you have a meal, the meal is good. What are you doing? Like, what's the best scenario out of that? You walk out with your partner or your friend and you're like, that was a good meal, and then you just go about your day. But what if the experience was terrible? What if the food came, what if you have to wait 30 minutes for your meal, or if the meal was cold? Then you would leave a review, right? It's always the people who have a negative experience who say something. The people who have good experiences, they don't really talk about it because there's just nothing to talk about. So that's something that you should also consider. The other aspect is this model. If you are committed and consistent, you will see results. You might not see it in the first 2 weeks, in the first 3 weeks, in the first month, but you will see results if you show up, right? I can tell you will make profit, but that's with my guidance, and you're skipping through all the fluff, nothing, all of that. But the people who complain, they are at 1 foot in the door, 1 foot out the door. They come, the first challenge that they face, they decide to quit and say it doesn't work. There's a lot of people like that. So you just have to be careful who you're listening to. And the second point on why start now, it's just a perfect time, right? Right now it's March. Black Friday's coming up in like half a year. Christmas. If you can start today, you get your business up and running. But in 6 months from now, you should not have a problem doing like 10K, even 15K, 20K. And I'm telling you because I was able to do that. If you have any sort of like commitment in the sense of like you're just down to grind and build something that could change your life, you will make money. And then the other aspect of why start now, there's two things. Like this model, in my personal opinion, since 2.5 years ago when I first started, the model got easier. Like products got more and more profitable. I don't even know how to explain it, but it just did. My margins going up. It's just getting easier. I think it's a perfect time to start, especially this model. Amazon is still growing, like I said. And the mindset that you should have with this model is for every day that you don't start, that's essentially money out of your pocket, because you will get to a point where you're doing 10K a month in profit. That's $330 every day in profit. You don't start today. Okay, you just lost $330. You don't start tomorrow. You just lost another $330 in a future timeline, right? So you should see it like that, because you could get to 10K profit in 4 months, 5 months, even 6 months, no problem, right? I've seen it happen with many of my students. I've seen it happen with myself. So I'm confident you could definitely do this. But yeah, just wanted to really jump on, create a very quick YouTube video, just casually talk about why this business model, in my opinion, is the best. If you are interested in starting and scaling your Amazon FBA wholesale business, follow me on Instagram, send me a message. I'm very active. I'll get back to you. Subscribe to this YouTube channel. I really appreciate it. Leave a thumbs up. And as always, I'll catch you on the next video. Thanks. Bye.